Good morning from Canada.
What?
Yes,
Surprise!
surprise. We are in Canada. We're in Vancouver. We actually flew in last night. Pretty much just flew in, checked into the hotel, and then went right to bed.
Well, we had a snack
True.
because we ate dinner at what was like 2 o'clock Vancouver time.
Yes.
So we were like, oh no, maybe we should eat.
Yes. But we are in Vancouver because we're actually getting on a Disney cruise tomorrow.
For Robbie's birthday.
Yes. So doing an Alaskan cruise for my birthday, my actual birthday.
Yes.
So we will be in Juneau on my actual birthday.
Wow.
So crazy stuff. But today is Sunday. Cruise sails out on Monday. We checked into the Pan Pacific Hotel of Vancouver, which is the hotel directly above the port at Canada Place. So super convenient.
Yes.
For tomorrow. We have a great view. We have a harbor view, so could see the bridge and Stanley Park. Saw some of the cruise ships pulling in today. So hopefully we'll see the wonder tomorrow.
And you filmed a room tour last night.
I did.
A brief one.
So I'll put that one in right here. So for a quick room tour with my back to the door coming into the room, we have the bathroom right in front of us with a decent size bathtub shower combo with the toiletries affixed to the wall. And then over here we have the sink area with what appears to be a hairdryer below the sink, as well as a scale, and some more toiletries to the wall as well. And then over here we have the bathroom. One thing pretty interesting is the door to the bathroom area also goes to the toilet room. So quite odd, but efficient. So toilet in there. And then out in the main room, we have the door to come into the room right here, and then a closet in front of us. So standard closet. We have some robes in here. We have some extra bedding, blanket and pillows. We have a safe, iron and ironing board, as well as some luggage racks. And then moving into the room itself, we have a very large king-size bed, nice big nightstand on both sides of the bed as well, with an alarm clock and a phone over here. Nice little sitting area with a side table. I will show the view in the morning. And then over here we have a desk area with some Lavazza coffee and a coffee maker. Another phone is over here, and then we have some water. Not sure those are included yet, but we will figure that out. And then ice bucket and the TV for the room. And then after the tour was filmed, also found where the coffee was being stored in one of the drawers. Very excited that it was the Lavazza, which is the same stuff, same machine that we had in Paris.
Yes.
So very good this morning. The
initial thoughts on the room.
The room's pretty nice. I think the hotel as a whole is very nice. It's huge.
It's massive.
Bed was pretty comfy, or the pillows at least were pretty comfy.
Mm-hmm. What I said earlier was that the hotel seems old but nice. Like it has been updated. There's nice features, and the location, you can't beat it.
Yes, for sure.
The weirdest thing is the door to the bathroom is also the door to the toilet room. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I've never seen that before, to have just one door kind of fill two different openings.
Yeah. And then the light for the bathroom is outside the bathroom. Mm-hmm. So I can imagine some children having fun with that, like, haha.
Yeah.
And leaving somebody in there in the dark.
Yeah. Wish we were a little bit higher, because we kind of have the pool directly outside, but...
I know, I feel like we're creeping on the people swimming.
Yeah. But... Other than that,
we're not.
Yes. And we do have the cruise package booked for the hotel, which includes breakfast for us each morning, as well as the bell services will come pick up our bags tomorrow and bring them right to the cruise, so we don't have to deal with that, which is very nice. But the breakfast this morning was very good.
I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it was going to just be a continental breakfast, but there were several hot options.
Yeah.
Lots of good pastries.
Very good pastries.
So... excited for tomorrow before the cruise, but today there's a lot planned. Our schedule got a little wonky because what we're doing today we actually had planned for post cruise, because we are sticking around for one day after the cruise.
Yes.
But there weren't enough people on the tour, so they were like, hey, do you want to come today? And we were like, yes. So today, what are we doing, Robbie?
We're doing a Fraser Valley wine tour. So seeing some of the wine region of Vancouver. So going to at least 3 wineries, potentially a 4th if there's time, but that's kind of questionable. But at least 3 wineries.
It's a large group.
Yes, there are 12 in the group, including us, supposedly.
Yeah.
So excited for that.
So we could be joining a party. We don't know what's going on.
Yes, but we have that this morning and afternoon, and then this evening we're going to explore Gastown, which is right next door to us to the east, and then we have dinner this evening in Gastown as well. So come along with us to enjoy the wine tour and our day in Vancouver. Okay, so we are back in our room after our day and evening exploring Vancouver. So, starting with our wine tour. This was offered through Canadian Craft Tours was the company. Went to Langley wine region, the Fraser Valley, Campbell Valley wine region. I think it said Campbell Valley is the wine region, Fraser Valley is the agricultural region.
But they sell the tour as the
Fraser Valley
wine tour.
But in Langley, still in British Columbia, we picked up at 10 a.m. and got back here around 3:30.
It was very easy.
Yes, super.
Instructions were very clear. Our guide was Tim, named after Timothy Hay, who grew up working on the farm. And yeah, he was literally named after Timothy Hay, which is what I would feed my guinea pigs growing up. So I was like, oh, okay. But he went by Tim. So Tim wore a kilt and had a great big personality and a brain full of knowledge.
He had so much experience with wine, beer, distillery experience. He owns a cidery now. So
very creative and smart person
who
could answer just about any question and even provide info that you didn't even know you had a question about.
True. It was told to us to meet across from Lyons Pub, gave an address, and luckily for us, we could actually get over there without even going outside.
Yes.
Because there is a food court underneath, or kind of underneath the street, that connects the Pan Pacific to the Fairmont, and it was right outside of the other Fairmont, or right outside the Fairmont on the other side, opposite side. So kind of like a block-ish away from here.
But we just cut through the food court.
Yeah.
So That was super simple. On the ride to the first winery, Tim basically, it was a local tour. It was, this is this area of Vancouver and this is this and
Right.
all this different background. We learned about all the agriculture in the region, that blueberries are incredibly popular around here, that the world's blueberry capital is right here in this region.
Yes, in Langley.
Langley. So that was a shock. But just, it was very educational and informative, but fun.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
He was a great guide, really knew his stuff, and yeah,
Very personable.
made the hour drive out to the wine region very quick because of
Yeah,
all the fun facts.
It did not feel like an hour.
Yes. But we went to 3 different wineries. First one was Backyard Winery. This one was the smallest sampling wise of the 3. We only had 4 samples here, but we also had some food here. The food, we were given a charcuterie tray, which was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It
And
looked
that was
very
not
impressive.
just for us.
No, it was for the table. They brought out 2 large ones for our party of 12.
Yes, 12 people.
So, but got to try some of the blueberries from the region, which was very fun, very tart. But yeah, had some cheese and whatnot as well.
Mm-hmm. It was very hot,
It was very hot.
but it was nice on the gazebo. We got a little toasty there towards the end,
Mm-hmm.
but really enjoyed our time at Backyard Winery.
Yeah. And then next winery that we went to was Township 7,
Mm-hmm.
which seems to be the happening place for events.
They host a lot of events there. Today was a fundraiser
For osteoporosis.
Well, not a fundraiser for osteoporosis, for osteoporosis research
Yes.
and care.
But a lot of like local,
There was a craft fair happening
Yeah.
to help support the cause.
and apparently yesterday was a like
Pet adoption,
pet adoption. It was
dog day,
yappy hour.
yappy hour. So
But here we tried 5 different samples of
Mhm.
wines. I will say caveat, because this tour was not really to your taste. Most of the wines were dry, but it was still very enjoyable across all 3.
the 3 wineries.
It was still very enjoyable. I really enjoyed it because I prefer drier wines. It seems like most of the grapes in this region are Pinot Noir grapes and Chardonnay grapes. So if that gives you an idea, there you go.
And here's the deal. Dry reds that are oaky for me, I am not gonna like it. But dry whites that are not oaky, I do fine. So I still very much enjoyed myself at all 3 of the wineries and would still recommend it even as someone who is not, I would not pick dry wine as my first choice.
Right. But at Township 7, they had a Chardonnay that was aged in a steel barrel.
And it was very good.
It was very good, very crisp, very fruity. But yeah, so that was Township 7. And then
The only thing with Township 7 is that they have a lot of sparkling wines, and I was slightly disappointed that that was a separate tasting, so we did not get to try any of their sparkling wines.
yeah, they have 2 tastings offered there. One of them is 5 samples of just miscellaneous wines, which is what we were given. The other one is, I think, 4 samples of sparkling wine. They were the same price. They were $15 a piece for the tastings. Our tastings were included with the tour, so we did not have a choice. We did not have to pay any extra. But they do offer a sparkling tasting if you do go here on your own. Something to note with the sparkling, which was a fun fact from Tim, is that this region of the British Columbia is on the 49th parallel, which is the same parallel as the Champagne region in France, supposedly. So he's like, if they offer you any sparkling wine, take it, because it's about as close to champagne as you can get.
They can't call
They can't call it champagne.
but,
Right.
and they do the classical champagne techniques to add the bubbles.
Yes.
At several, at least at Township 7, they did. But we had a nice time before moving on to the last winery.
Which was a little confusing. So the last one does not have any grapes on site.
No.
They import all of their grapes from different regions. They mostly from California, they said, except one of them was local. But it is very warehouse-esque from the outside. It was called Gate 22, and it seemed to be under the larger umbrella of Cavello wine.
There were corks that said Cavello all over the place.
Yes. But here, very relaxing tasting room here. Got to sit down.
It was inside with air conditioning and some mood lighting.
Yes.
Because I was getting sleepy.
Yes. But we had 5 different wines here, including a sparkling. That was a sparkling mix of Chardonnay and dry Riesling. And then a selection of dry reds, and then finished off finally with a sweet wine, and it was a dessert wine.
So I only had the first and last at this last winery.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed them both. At that point I was like, life is too short. It is too hot for me to drink wine that I don't want, and I don't want to waste it with them pouring for me.
True.
So, but the 2 that I had, I very much enjoyed.
Yeah. But that kind of wrapped up the tour. After that, we headed back to our drop-off point, pickup point. And yeah.
Then we walked around a little bit and popped in some shops. We didn't buy anything.
No.
We walked around Gastown, and we did some window shopping. If we want any, like, Canada souvenirs, we know where to go.
True.
We also got to see the clock.
Yes.
But we came back here and cleaned up, and then went to our dinner reservation at Water Street Cafe.
Yes, which is right across the street from the steam clock.
So we had a window seat and got to watch the clock do its little toot toot show for a long time. Fun fact from Tim. The clock, the time is very off now.
Yeah.
The show element happens at the correct time, but the face of the clock does not show the correct time.
And the show is every 15 minutes. However, on the hour is the longer version, like the full song.
Which,
if you're at the 15-minute mark, it's very, very piddly, not much happening there. So
it's cool.
Yeah.
But I think if you were really hyped, you would probably be like, oh,
yeah,
that was cute.
But one thing that was nice for Gastown for today.
But Tim said that the man who built the clock passed away, and no one was really trained in how to keep the clock up. So I don't know if the clock is going to fall into some sort of disrepair, but because no one really knows or wants to fix the clock at this point, the clock doesn't show the correct time.
Yes, it is about 10 minutes ahead.
Yes, currently.
Yeah.
By the time this video comes out, I don't know what it's going to be. But at this point, it's fast, and we don't know what's going to happen. But keep that in mind, that whether the clock is going to whether the clock is showing on the hour, 15 minutes, or half hour marks, it doesn't matter what the clock is saying. Go off of the time if you want to see the little show.
True.
But we were seated by the window at Water Street Cafe.
Yeah. But so Gastown today, and I think it was maybe June or July through next weekend, I think is the last one. They have the Gastown Sunday set, where they bring in some different local vendors, sometimes some music, different themes for the weekends. Today was just
They closed the streets, basically.
But that was nice just to be able to walk in the street, open up the sidewalks a little bit more.
Because it was crowded. It was very busy.
Crowded. But from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., that was going on. So today there was no live music. Other weekends there were, but it was nice just to have the streets closed and whatnot. So that was happening today. But at Water Street Cafe for dinner, also on Sundays, they have a prefix menu. And it is $38 for a 3-course meal per person. So this is what we ended up doing. We each got the prefix. So you have choice of soup or salad, choice of entree. They had 4 different options, and then choice of dessert. There were 2 different options. So we had both desserts and both starters. So the salad was what you got, the Water Street Cafe salad, I think is what it was.
I ordered the salad. It was very fresh. I was brave and tried golden beets for the first time. Those were in the salad. They were pretty good. And it was really good. All I will say across the board, from the wine tour to this dinner, all of the produce that we have had today has been so fresh and so good. The tomatoes in the salad were like that nice crisp crunch that you want with a tomato. And there's fruit coming later in the meal, also great. Every bit of produce was fantastic. So after a full day of day drinking in the hot sun, it was nice to have a refreshing salad as my starter.
Yeah. And I ordered the soup, which the soup of the day was a wild sockeye salmon soup. Chowder-esque. I would say very similar to like a clam chowder, but not creamy.
Yeah, I said it was kind of similar to chicken noodle soup, but with salmon instead.
Yeah.
And it had an intense salmon flavor. It was.
It was. It was pretty good though. I enjoyed it. There was a little bit of like a citrus note on the front end of it. But yeah, overall pretty good. I think your salad was better.
It was also just weirdly hot today.
True.
Like mid to upper 80s.
Yeah, we are in abnormally high temperatures for Vancouver.
Right.
Today was a high of 84.
Yeah.
And that's Fahrenheit.
So the idea of a bowl of hot soup today.
True.
You know, I think that also gave the salad an upper hand.
True.
In the starter options.
Yeah.
But we got the same entree.
True, and that was very good. It was the salmon, which was a British Columbia salmon that was like a maple glaze or maple sauce to it, with some potatoes and corn and an apple fennel slaw on top. This was fantastic. I think this was the most tender salmon I have ever had.
Same.
It was cooked very, very well. It was not fishy. It just kind of fell apart with the fork.
I will say that your teriyaki salmon is still my favorite salmon, but this was very good.
Yeah.
It's creeping behind the teriyaki salmon.
Absolutely no complaints with the salmon. It was phenomenal. And I don't know if it's just we don't get good salmon we're used to, but this was fantastic. And I know that's being local salmon. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be really good. It was really good.
It was cooked exceptionally well. The potatoes were also cooked very well and were flavorful. The corn was difficult to eat.
Yeah, it was basically the cob that was quartered.
Well, they tried to do it kind of like corn ribs,
Yeah.
which I know are a thing now, but it wasn't tender enough to eat like a corn rib. So you had to physically cut the corn off of the remaining bit of cob. So it was a bit messy. We did our best.
Yeah.
But I think, that was easily, the slaw was a lot, but we just kind of pushed it.
I like the slaw.
Okay. I pushed it aside. But I just had a massive piece of fennel and went, oh, that was a lot. And then, but the only thing that I think could have made the dish better would have been if the corn was cut off the cob or subbed for something else.
Yeah.
Just to make it easier to eat, and so we weren't flinging corn in polite public company.
Yeah. And then for dessert, they had a choice of their seasonal cannoli or their seasonal sorbetto. So we both got one of each. I ordered the cannoli, which was told to us that it was chunky chocolate. It was very good, very thick cannoli.
It was not, because I was, if you've watched the channel, I'm not super into chocolate, but I love cannolis. So I was like slightly disappointed. But the chocolate flavor, I don't know how you felt about it, it wasn't super strong.
No.
So to me, it tasted like a cannoli with a hint of chocolate with chocolate pieces inside.
Because there were chocolate chunks like within the cream. Cream itself was very lightly chocolatey. I think it was even more cinnamony than chocolatey, I would say, the cream.
It was fairly mild because I was like, oh, I could have ordered this. I would have been fine. But it was very good. But again, I love a cannoli. So the only way I'm going to say that wasn't a good cannoli is if there's a big old hole in the middle where they didn't put enough cream.
True.
But I had the sorbetto, which initially I was told was raspberry and lemon, but it was raspberry and mango. And it also had, again, the fresh fruit on top. It had candied nuts, which
was interesting. I don't think it really fit with the sorbet.
It was almonds and pistachios. The pistachios were good. The almonds were a little hard. I think being on the sorbetto, they just
froze a little bit.
And they were fine. But the sorbetto itself was very good.
It was.
The mango was very good. The raspberry was exceptionally good. Because whenever I get raspberry stuff, I'm always like, is it gonna be okay raspberry or really good raspberry? And it was really good today, so I was pleased. And then again, the fresh fruit on top. There were some beautiful blackberries that I was happy to eat.
Yeah.
So it was a nice, light, refreshing way to end the meal.
Yeah. And like I said, overall the meal was $38 per person for the 3-course meal, which $38 Canadian, which equates to about $27 US. So for a 3-course meal that's salmon and dessert and salad or soup, that's pretty good.
Yeah. It was a great value.
Yeah.
The service was very slow. But
at the end.
But our server, part of the reason the service was so slow was because one of the tables in her section did not speak English, and she was doing an exceptional job communicating with them and making sure that they were able to have a good experience just like everybody else.
Right. And she had a table with an allergy.
An additional table that was a large multi-generational family with an allergy. So we were there for like an hour and a half total, but we were able to have a wonderful meal. We got to watch the clock do its thing. And it was a nice evening. we needed to eat, definitely, because the lunch included on the tour was definitely a light lunch.
Yeah.
So I think the only thing we could have done differently today would have been to do an earlier dinner, potentially. Except it was nice because the restaurant was open air, at least when we were there. That because we ate a little later, it was a little cooler in the restaurant. Because one thing today walking around was a lot of places did not use air conditioning. There were a lot of open doors, so they just had fans. And I totally understand that. You don't need to cool the outside. But I think today felt hotter than it was.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was nice to have a relaxing, nice, calm, cool meal.
Yeah.
In general, thoughts on Vancouver?
I think it's very similar to Amsterdam. The people are incredibly nice.
People have been very nice. It's in Amsterdam we felt kind of like we weren't cool enough to be there. And at least in Gastown, I was feeling a little bit of the same way.
Yeah.
But we still had a nice time, and again, everyone was very, very nice. The other thing, as a bit of a culture shock, is that cannabis is legal here.
Yes.
And with the open air situation, there have been a lot of times that we were just, surprise, here comes a waft.
Right.
So have that in mind if you're a family traveling here for like a Disney cruise, because if you're watching this video, there's a solid chance that, you know,
very true.
You're at least thinking about it. But I don't know how you'd explain that to kids. Well, I guess you just say, oh, yeah, there's smells. But that's something to keep in mind if you're sensitive to smells.
Mm-hmm. It was also very crowded around the times of the ships debarking and embarking this morning. So be aware that there will be crowds.
Yes, just be prepared for crowds. Be prepared for just kind of... Because it's different from Amsterdam in that, at least in this area of Vancouver, it's very touristy.
Yeah.
It feels intensely touristy. Because there were times that Gastown felt almost like...
Everyone's getting pictures of the clock.
Well, like a cruise port.
True.
Where it's like, there's stores that are Canada, Vancouver, buy your maple stuff here, etc., etc., etc. But then there's other stores that are like local artisans that are, it's like an artistic and cool area mixed with the intensely touristy thing. So it's different, and it's an interesting vibe, at least around the port here, where we have explored.
True.
And again, we are barely scratching the surface of Vancouver.
Yeah.
We're not here long enough to do that.
Yes.
But we've got one more morning here.
We do.
In Vancouver.
So
before we board the Disney Wonder.
Yes. So that is tomorrow, embarkation day. I don't remember what time our port arrival time is, but it's fairly early. No, it's not too early. I think it's like 10:45. Mm-hmm. But for us, it's right downstairs, so take it nice and leisurely morning tomorrow. We get breakfast downstairs in the lobby again. One thing that's going to be very different with this embarkation day is that the sail away show is not its normal time.
We think. Things could change, but it's going to be a fun, busy embarkation day. This is our first time on the Wonder.
Yes.
Which, at least at this point, once we get on board the Wonder, then we will have been on all of the current Disney ships that are currently in the fleet.
Yes, all six. So the Wonder marks our sixth and final ship as of now, as of tomorrow when we board. And on top of that, stepping on board tomorrow marks my 10th Disney cruise. Wow. So after this cruise, I will officially be platinum, still gold for this one. But yeah, so very exciting.
This is my 8th.
Which is still very exciting.
Yeah, now I'm getting my sea legs.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so
But
now,
we're still very tired.
yes.
This is a big time. Well, it's not a big time difference for us, but it's a 2-hour time difference, and it's whenever we travel, we always go forward in time. This is our first real going backwards in time experience for us.
Yeah.
So we're still adjusting, and it's what time is it? It's 8:26, but it still feels a little bit like 10:30 to us.
True.
So I think we're gonna turn in pretty soon and just spend the rest of the evening
Getting
prepping.
ready for tomorrow.
Yes, for the big day.
Yes.
Boarding the Disney Wonder for Robbie's birthday cruise
Indeed.
to Alaska.
So, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. We will see you all tomorrow for our embarkation day. And
We'll see you real soon.